Today we talk about why most people hate their job. In the beginning, I thought the answer is obvious. The coworker, the boss, and working environment, capitalism. But in reality, the problem is way more hidden. And the directly consequences of the hidden problem is that people start switching jobs and they realize no matter where I go, shit continue. And they just have this existential crisis. They start thinking maybe it's not the boss or the company's problem, maybe it's a society problem, or maybe just me. And after this video, you probably will have a more clear understanding than most people why humans hate their job. Right off the bat, first reason is you may have a bullshit job. There are lots of jobs in our society, regardless how you observe it, how you look at it, they're just meaningless and achieve nothing. Even the people who working in that role don't even know why the heck my role should be existed. And this sentence is not even said by me. It was stated by the book Bullshit Job. The author was even leading character in Occupy Wall Street. I'm not necessarily 100% agree with the book, but I think it's really inspiring. In the book, it mentioned there's a category job called bullshit job. Those jobs is not because they pay low, so it makes them bullshit. In reality, lots of those bureaucratic jobs that just organize documents and, take surveys that nobody will ever read through, actually get paid like top tiers. What makes them bullshit is they actually create zero values and achieve nothing. On the contrast, there's a lot of jobs that are actually very important and produce lots of value. It's not getting paid. For example, cleaner or teacher. If one day all the cleaner is gone from the city, the whole city is unbearable. And those jobs, at most you can call them shit job. You cannot really call them bullshit job. And here is an example what kind of job is bullshit. In the book, it records that some army is also their IT department. And in the same time, this IT department is also the logistic part of the IT out to another company. And in the logistic part of the company, they don't want to deal with HR, so they outsource again. So what happens in this army, if a soldier decides to move from one cubicle to another cubicle 5 meters away, what happens first, he have to let IT department know, and the IT department will call the logistic department, logistic will call the HR department, and both of the logistic and HR company will send one people drive up 15 hours to the soldier. One of them is asking him to fill out a form, another one is disinstall the computer and move to a cubicle 5 meters away. And what that two person did, driving 15 hours, fill out a form that nobody will ever read, is bullshit. Because this soldier could just carry the computer and move by himself within 5 minutes to disinstall and install the computer in the next cubicle. And this is an even bigger topic. When I research, I found there's more and more detail and nuances is coming to this topic. In future, I will make a specific video talk about bullshit jobs. And there is even ingrained economic structure problems. But for today, this is a very good, quick overview of bullshit job. Second problem people hate their job is Peter's principles. Peter's principles means when a person gets promoted in the company, they will eventually promote to a position that is unsuitable. And you probably see those things happen quite a lot. For example, one of the really great salesperson may get promoted to the manager of sales team. But does that salesperson have a managerial skills? Not really. Or you're in a smaller company. There's a guy, his ability is like 10, everybody else is like 5. And he get promoted. But this managerial job requests 12 instead of 10. But he's the best choice, obviously, for the company, and it make him incompetent. And then directly what this incompetent boss do is make everybody miserable. Because they are not competent, they will care about a meaningless detail, they make countless meetings, and they give a lot of bullshit job to others. And it make everybody have an upset environment. In the book, Peter's Principles, the author gave a clear example when he was in school. Because the principal was only focused on how the lawn was cut, how the uniform was dressed. The principal never cared about how the education that they receive is better or worse, they never even ask about it. So he decided to complain to the education department in the local district. Then the first time he sent the complaint letter, it get returned to him, said, "Hey, thank you, we received your letter, but the formality of the letter is wrong, so we cannot take the complaint." He said, okay, he writing a better formality that they request and send to the complaint department of the education again. And they return him back again. Says, hey, this time the form is good, but the type of the paper you use are wrong. And the back and forth, he just realized the education department in that district behaved just like his principal. They don't care about what's the content of it. They only cared about the pointless, meaningless details, just because they are incompetent. And so far, the two we give is external reason why people hate their job. And here is some internal reason why. First, lots of people have overestimation of how well they do. And that estimation directly consequences is you have a big gap between what you thought you would did and the reality of it. How many times you hear your friend complain to you that their boss don't care about them? Even then, he's doing way better than his colleague. Recently, I'm reading the book Self-Insight. The author is a famous decay effect, talk about how more stupid you are, the more confident you will be. One of the topics that really interests him is why in certain field there's only certain gender. For example, in school, when you walk into an engineer major or computer science, you see way more boys than girls. Then they start doing experiment. They realize that the problem is not even are they good at it, it's the perception how good they are. They find that first, girl is way better at math and engineer or science type of work during the primary school. But when you ask those girls, how did you do on the test? And would you willing to join another science activity? The girls all say that, no, I don't think I'm not really good at it. And I probably wouldn't embarrass myself further to go to a science event. From that experiment, they have a conclusion that people's perception really determine what choice they're gonna do, regardless their performance. In the experiment, they realized that the choice of certain career or major is really determined on their self-perception. And most of the time, those self-perception are wrong. But imagine those boys who perform actually way worse on science and engineering and computer science, choose that path, and they're going to work in that field. It's not like they can even understand they're doing worse than others. All they see is other people's getting promoted. I am not. Even then, I'm working way more, I'm way smarter, I'm way better. Why the heck nobody picked me? And that's a clear example how perception of yourself may make you hate your job. Fourth one, multitasking. There is a shocking experiment I read that was made from Microsoft, MIT, and a lot of companies collaborate together. They try to figure out why people are so stressed out. And they see a clear pattern between how often do you switch your tasks directly to how stressed you will be. Guess how much on average people switch a job. You know, they pull out their phone, there's notification, they have to talk to their boss, move to department, doing all this thing in the same time. The real answer is 47 seconds. People switch things in every 47 seconds. Of course, you may say, yeah, I switch job like about every 5 minutes. In the same time, there will be people switching job every 5 seconds. You ask me how? Just recall like some movies. There's an assistant who have a phone on the neck, they're typing and writing down things at the same time. That's basically what happened. And the direct result is they will suffer from stress. And this is what's described in the book. Over the course of the day, they switched between tasks more than 400 times. Those who spend less time before jumping into something else experience higher level of stress and get less work done. In addition to decreasing productivity, high level of stress also cause fatigues and burnout. I see lots of people really suffering and they are really trying to improve their experience in work. And they try to have communication courses and thought it will make it better, make the biased boss treat them wellly, make the weird coworker treat them wellly. why find there are so many hidden reasons why a person could hate their job. I just can't hold to share with you guys. Because just like if you don't know what those reasons are, regardless the company you switch, you will be in the trap. Just like you don't know how to swim, regardless how many swimming pool you switch, it wouldn't make you know how to swim. And that will be all for today's video. My name is Paul. I see you next time. Bye.